Welcome to Celestial Insights, a weekly podcast that brings the stars down to earth. I'm your host, astrologer, coach, and intuitive Celeste Brooks. My purpose is to provide practical, unique, and insightful guidance to help you navigate the energies of the week like a boss. Hello, this is Celeste of Astrology by Celeste, and on this episode, I will discuss the astrology for the week of February 4th, 2024. There is still time to join the Aquarius New Moon workshop. It's today at 12 p.m. Pacific time. You can sign up with the link in the show notes or go to my website, astrologybyceleste.com. This lunation is going to be action-packed. It's a great time to set intentions, and Aquarius rules the future about what you want your future life to look like. Also, several students reached out to me about the Astrology Foundations 201 course that mentioned that they'd like to take the course, but the timing did not work for Wednesday nights, based on either if they're in Europe or just have other obligations. So I decided to add a second class. So Astrology Foundations 201, which if you already know the basics of the signs, the planets, the houses, and the aspects, but want to be able to dive deeper in order to know with chart reading, like where to start, what is more impactful, and learn how to synthesize and do the chart analysis with new techniques, you can join this 5-week class. Session B starts February 8th. That's this Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And in Jupiter-Uranus fashion, Jupiter and Uranus, their conjunction is the big aspect of the year. I'm allowing students to join both classes. It's going to be the same material taught twice a week. So if you want to come Wednesday nights, you can come then. You can also come Thursday mornings. Check out the link in the show notes or go to astrologybyceleste.com on the classes page to register now. If you have any questions, email me at celeste@astrologybyceleste.com. First, let's start with a few astrology and action stories. One of the big events last week was that Uranus, the planet of shocks and awe, sudden events, brilliance, scientific advancements, stationed to turn direct at 19 degrees of Taurus, a sign of resources. And when a planet changes directions, its energy is intensified. And on that day, Donald Trump received the verdict that his judgment against E. Jean Carroll, which was originally going to be just $5 million, turned into $83 million because of his antics in court. One of the things that he was doing was, being belligerent. He stomped out when he didn't like what was going on. And another transit happening was at the same time that Uranus was stationing, Mercury and Mars were coming together in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn rules government. And it happened at 17 degrees in a tight square with Donald Trump's Jupiter in Libra at 17 degrees. Jupiter rules justice, the truth. Libra rules fairness, balance, relationships. And he was accused of and had been found guilty of sexually assaulting this woman in a department store dressing room. So Uranus in Taurus. This assault, Uranus can be literally crimes and violence. This assault in a Taurus department store, place where you go to get fashion. And E. Jean Carroll was a gossip columnist, someone who writes Mercury gossip, so negative things about people. And he acted very, very irrationally. And Mars was squaring the nodes and Mercury squaring the nodes. So when planets square the nodes, we come to a choice point, and the actions or the decisions we make have consequences. And so he kept acting so inappropriately, the jury gave this woman all kinds of extra money. The second story that was of the same nature was that Megan Thee Stallion dropped some new records. She is a rapper. Rap is a Mercury Mars thing. And she said something in it that upset Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj went on this rampage all weekend on Twitter and Instagram saying nasty things about Megan Thee Stallion. So there was this rap battle between these two rappers. Well, it was a one-sided battle. Megan Thee Stallion said something about that alluded to Nicki's husband being a child molester, and then Nicki Minaj went crazy, and so that was another story we saw in the collective. For myself, I live in a building, and someone came to do our monthly elevator check, and they left one of the elevators in the off position. So we had no elevator all weekend. So yeah, sudden event, Uranus, Mercury, Mars, our Mercury elevator, Mars was broken down, had a problem because Uranus, the person, messed up and didn't take the key out. So those are some stories. The theme of this week is the Furies, and there are three big things I want you to think about as you navigate this week. The first is that Mercury, the planet of communication, commerce, and transportation, will enter the sign of Aquarius today. Mercury rules our thought processes, and Aquarius is a sign of the future. It rules the collective. It wants everything to be fair. It's independent-minded, and it's innovative. So notice how conversations change tone from more pessimistic Capricorn. Mercury moves from Capricorn to Aquarius. Capricorn can be a little bit more serious. Capricorn is hierarchical, and Aquarius wants everything to be equal and on an equal playing field. So that'll be, notice what topics you see coming up around these things. It's a great time to put on your thinking cap. A lot of people with Mercury and Aquarius are just brilliant. They're very imaginative, technology-oriented, open-minded, progressive thinking. You may notice that you have flashes of brilliance. Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. And notice more tolerant thinking, or discussions about groups and organizations may take center stage. Now, shadow energies of Mercury and Aquarius is to be like too abstract, where you're talking about something and you're like 10 dimensions past what everybody else understands, and people can get lost, or just being overly intellectual or arrogant or obnoxious, like know-it-all. Aquarius can be I know. So that can be some of the shadow energies of this sign. The next thing I want to make you aware of is that it's going to be a really interesting month, because first Mercury, then Mars, then Venus will all meet Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So there is going to be a lot of news. 0 degrees is the first degree of the sign. This is the first time these planets are meeting Pluto in Aquarius in over 200 plus years. And Pluto is an excavator. It digs things up. Pluto rules obsession, intensity. It's about power struggles. There are also themes of paranoia with Pluto. All of the action is taking place in the sign of the Aquarius, which rules large groups of people. And I'm noticing the drumbeat is getting louder and louder, where a lot of conservative commentators are voicing their concerns about Taylor Swift being able to sway the election. And Taylor Swift's Venus is at 1 degrees of Aquarius. And I'm wondering if this could be somewhat related to her. When I did my OPA talk last December, I talked about the Aries ingress and how her Pluto was at the same degree of the rising sign, which speaks to the people. And Pluto can be very persuasive and manipulative. And the stories and the accusations are getting wilder and wilder, and not just random people. On Fox News, one of the commentators was floating this theory that Taylor Swift has been enlisted by the government to sway the election, and her and her boyfriend, the football player, that the Chiefs are only in the Super Bowl because there's some powers behind the scene that have put him there so that their relationships gets more play, and that she's going to eventually come out for Biden and get people to vote Democratic. So there's a lot of fear mongering about Taylor Swift. It makes me concerned for her safety, frankly. The reason they're so wild about it is because she has over 600 million fans. She had her big concerts last year when Venus was squaring Jupiter and Uranus, and now Jupiter and Uranus are coming together. Now, Jupiter rules celebrity and Uranus rules voting. So, yeah, the fear that she's going to use her celebrity and it's going to actually have a big impact on the election. And first, Mercury on February 4th, then Mars on February 12th, then Venus on February 16th are all going to meet Pluto at that 0 degrees. Now, Mercury, Pluto, obsessive thinking, paranoia, secrets revealed is possible. Mars, violent, disruptive actions, ego conflicts, potential assaults, war. And Venus, obsessive love, changes in resources, manipulation, dangerous liaisons are some thoughts that come up. So notice on those dates, we hear something. There's a story about Taylor Swift. Now, of course, there also could be stories about what's going on with all of these wars. I'm really concerned about the escalation of war with these transits coming up. It'll be interesting to see. I think it's a great year to have Valentine's Day at home because that week is going to be pretty chaotic. If you don't have to travel that week, I would say don't travel if you can avoid it. It's going to be really interesting to see what's revealed during this month. There could be something as well about TikTok. I wonder if TikTok's going to be banned. In Florida, they're putting in, and all over the country, they're trying to put in laws to protect children from these tech companies' devices that are very addictive. And Mercury conjunct Pluto could be the state exerts its power, Pluto, over technology, Aquarius, to protect children, Mercury. The Wise Guys 2024 Digital Astrology Calendar will help you let the universe have your back. The calendar is compatible with Google, Apple, and Outlook calendars. The calendar includes every planetary transit, lunation, eclipse, and moon void of course period. There are detailed descriptions for each astrological event that will help you deepen your understanding of astrology, plan events in sync with the cosmos, and stay more present in your daily life. Use my coupon code ABC2024 and go to wiseskiescollective.com/shop to order your calendar today. I'm a proud affiliate and use the calendar myself on a daily basis. The last thing I want to make you aware of is that we're having a new moon at 20 degrees of Aquarius on Friday. Seeds are planted every time there is a new moon, and when you plant seeds intentionally and do put in the effort to nurture and nourish them, you will find that you have successful outcomes come in faster. So I highly encourage you to set intentions with the new moon. Come to my workshop today or buy the recording if you want to dive deeper in learning about the astrology, what it means for you, and I'll do as many hot take readings as I can. This new moon on February 9th is at 20 degrees of Aquarius. The first quarter moon of this cycle is at November 8th at 17 degrees of Aquarius. The full moon of the cycle is August 9th, 2025 at 16 degrees of Aquarius. And the last quarter moon is on May 9th at 19 degrees of Aquarius, May 9th, 2026. So there may be something that's seated in your life around now that has a pivot point 9 months from now. Something else happens 18 months from now, and then 27 months from now. So these moon phase families, if your chart is activated. So I recommend journaling so that you really notice what is happening, especially if you can see 20 degrees of Aquarius is right near one of your personal planets or an angle. You can also use this to set intentions about where do you want to be with your intention setting 9 months from now, where the sun will be in Scorpio squaring the moon at almost the same degree. And there can be a pivot point. The Sabian symbol for this degree is a woman disappointed and disillusioned, courageously facing a seemingly empty life. So this is really an interesting Sabian symbol. It's kind of depressing, but it speaks about like breaking through illusions, facing reality, loneliness, feeling like an outsider. Sometimes with people with strong Aquarius energy can feel exiled or like outsiders or the black sheep of their families. The tarot card is the Seven of Swords, which in astrology relates to the moon in Aquarius. But the Seven of Swords is a card of theft, betrayal, getting away with something. So it's really, it's not the best imagery for this new moon, although I think it can be a great new moon. It is squaring Uranus, and Uranus is the great awakener. It can be exciting. There can be some shocks and awe. I'm sure there'll be some events that are a little unsettling, but it can also bring just like a lot of brilliant ideas. At this new moon, Venus is sextile Neptune. So that can be, some people can be like just falling and head over heels in love. I love that about this new moon. Now, one thing that's a little concerning, Mars is almost at 28 degrees of Capricorn, and that is the degree where Mars has its true exaltation in Capricorn. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, but the degree where it can be the strongest is at 28 Capricorn. So this makes me concerned about escalating violence. So anyway, hang on to your hat. It's going to be a wild ride. I recommend setting intentions about groups, organizations, your hopes and dreams, future plans. Maybe you want to volunteer or look into working for a nonprofit. Things like that are Aquarian. Making the world a better place for people who are coming in the future can be things you are thinking about. On Sunday, the word of the day is FUTURAMA. We start the week with the sun in Sagittarius, this fiery, dynamic energy that is optimistic. Notice that when Mercury enters Aquarius at 9:09 p.m. Pacific time, if you notice that your thoughts get more optimistic or a great idea comes in to your mind, really stay present for downloads the whole time Mercury is in Aquarius. The winged messenger is flying through the sky and will move into Pisces on February 22nd. So we have a couple weeks to really work with this brilliant energy. On Monday, the word of the day is surveillance. Now, this is the day Mercury will meet Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of news around Mercury-Pluto topics. Hopefully it's not anything destructive, like Pluto could be, some kind of catastrophe that has a lot of casualties. Pluto has a mass influence. There could be a cybercrime. Let's hope not. It may be just about, something about governments trying to exert control and potentially over social media. But think about all the things Mercury rules and seeing if there's news about some kind of big event. Now, a little concerned about violence because on this day, Mars, the planet of war, will square Eris, the goddess of chaos, at 24 degrees of each sign. Mars is in Capricorn, Eris is in Aries. So this could be escalation of the violence, especially probably around the Middle East. We'll see what happens. The sun is also sextile Chiron in Aries. So the sun in Aquarius is sextile Chiron in Aries. They're both at 16 degrees of their respective signs. Now, this could be uncovering news about COVID. I wouldn't be surprised if there is some breaking news where a secret is revealed about the pandemic and all of the lockdowns and things like that. Aquarius rules the collective. Chiron in Aries, illness. We shall see what happens. If you are embarking on a new journey, experiencing a major life event, feeling stuck, trying to make a difficult decision, or just looking to make positive changes, astrology can provide life-changing insights. There are several ways to work with me. You can come for a 30, 60, or 90-minute astrology consultation depending on your needs. Ask me a burning question and I'll record a video for you. Engage in longer-term cosmic success coaching where we work together on a 3-month basis to help you overcome blocks, improve your life satisfaction, build better relationships, accomplish your career goals, and understand yourself better using the tool of astrology. Or mystic mentoring if you're an aspiring astrologer and want help with chart analysis techniques. Go to astrologybyceleste.com to check out my offerings. If you have any questions, you can email me at celeste@astrologybyceleste.com. On Tuesday, the word of the day is brave. The moon enters Capricorn at 4:08 a.m. Pacific time. I love a Capricorn moon. This cardinal earth energy is great to get stuff done, to make a plan and take action in a methodical way to achieve success. We're going to have a balsamic phase at 2 degrees of Capricorn at 8:10 a.m. Pacific time. So I recommend moving slowly. At the balsamic phase, the moon is losing the last of her light. It's a time to release, get extra rest, go to bed early, be more intuitive. You may get some great downloads. Also on this day, Venus in Capricorn will square the nodes at 17 degrees of each sign. So the north node's at 17 Aries, the south node is at 17 Libra. So you may come up to a crossroads about relationships, and are you going to play it safe, south node, not ruffle any feathers, or are you going to go towards the north node in Aries? Be brave, pioneering, take some actions that are a little bit of a risk. Now, the sun, which spotlights things in Aquarius, the sign of groups, is sextile the north node in Aries as well at 17 degrees of each of the signs. And this could be like you decide to break away from a group that's no longer serving you, or you could take the risk, ask your boss for a raise your prices, things like that. Venus rules resources, love, beauty, harmony, relationships. So notice if you feel like you're coming to a crossroads around any of these topics. On Wednesday, the word of the day is surrender. This is the day Venus in Capricorn will make a trine with Uranus in Taurus. They're both at 19 degrees. Venus trine Uranus. Meet cute. I love this energy. Now, Mars in Capricorn is sextile Neptune in Pisces. They're both at 25 degrees. I'm wondering if this is the day Nikki Haley, who is a Capricorn, will realize, I'm not going to win this election. I'm not getting anywhere. And Mars rules competitions and Neptune dissolves things. Maybe she'll drop out on the days coming up to this or on this day. That would be interesting. We shall see. I'm very worried, kind of concerned about Taylor Swift. They're hyping up all these people and someone like hashing a plot to try to harm her. I'm sure she has lots of security, so I'm sure they're very aware and taking precautions to keep her safe. But Venus trine Uranus could be like somebody deciding they're going to do something to try to take her out with the Mars sextile Neptune. Let's hope not. On Thursday, the word of the day is revelations. On this day, the sun in Aquarius is square Uranus. So this is like sun rules leaders, celebrities. In Aquarius, someone who has a lot of fans. Square Uranus in Taurus, like wanting to do her bodily harm is something that comes to my mind. Now, also, farmers in France as well as Germany are furious with their governments and protesting. As I'm recording this, they have circled a capital, I believe, of one of of cities. I don't know if it's Paris or a different city in France, and are taking a lot of actions against the government. This has been going on for months. In fact, some of them have brought manure and sprayed it on government buildings. They're furious about taxes and regulations that are really limiting their ability to make a living wage. On this day, the moon enters Aquarius at 5:59 a.m. Pacific time, and it will meet Pluto. This can be power to the people and groups of people band together in order to assert their rights. On Friday, the word of the day is initiation. This is the day we'll have the new moon at 20 degrees of Aquarius at 2:59 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure to set your intentions about what you want your future life to look like. Can you be optimistic? Think outside the box. Innovative solutions. What comes to mind? Again, today there's a workshop so you can come and learn deeply more about the astrology of this event. On Saturday, the word of the day is optimistic. Mercury in Aquarius will square Jupiter in Taurus. They're both at 6 degrees. Can you think positively? Jupiter is the planet of optimism, blessings, as a cosmic Santa. Can you believe that you can achieve the goals you set out to do? Maybe you'll meet a new friend who you embark on a relationship with. That's someone who's more aligned with your belief systems. We think about Aquarius with beliefs, as well as Jupiter has to do with our life philosophy. So, you can change your life with a hello. So think about that. The moon will enter the sign of Pisces at 5:42 a.m. Pacific time. Pisces is mutable water energy. Great day for just listening to music. Somebody's going to write a great song on this day, I feel like, or the best poetry in the world. This is beautiful energy. Let your thoughts just wander where they may go. This is great energy for dreaming. Notice you may want to have a dream journal with this energy. Now remember, Astrology Foundations Session B starts on Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So if you'd like to come learn astrology with me, you can register and enroll in this class. I love working with people in person. The classes are interactive, taught live, and then you can rewatch them. They'll be in the portal. If you miss one, you can always catch up, and you can have an optional study buddy if you like. So that's it for this week's episode. Feel free to email me at celeste@astrologybyceleste.com with any astrology in action stories, or let me know how the themes are playing out for you. Take care, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you for listening to Celestial Insights. To learn more about my work, please visit my website, astrologybyceleste.com, where I offer personal readings, horary consultations, cosmic coaching, group events, and classes to help guide people to higher levels of fulfillment. You can also find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook at Astrology by Celeste. If you enjoyed Celestial Insights, please help others find the show. Follow, rate it 5 stars, or write a nice review. I would so appreciate it. I'm astrologer, coach, and intuitive Celeste Brooks, and I'll be back next week.